talking about the gait cycle, we're looking at the musculature, and our red tape represents the posterior tibialis. And so what you know is in gait, in the stance phase, we have initial contact, we have loading phase or loading response, we have mid-stance, and then we have terminal stance into pre-swing. Posterior tibialis, it sits right behind the shin bone, comes down around the malleolus and attaches under the foot. So when we look at the musculature here, we know in initial contact, as the heel hits the ground, we rapidly evert or get the foot to the ground. We know that that immediate cycle is going to be this muscle's turned on. And you're going to see that muscle is going to engage all the way to the beginning of mid-stance. When the heel hits the ground, as we start going down to the ground, and we see that heel evert, so the heel goes inward, that's immediately lengthening this tissue. So it's eccentrically lengthening. That's when the EMG says, hey, this muscle is turned on. And that muscle is going to stay on to create control. So think about it. Gravity is causing our foot to go to the ground and ground reaction. There's not a muscle that is being activated to cause that to happen. We're actually decelerating motion. So when we get posterior tibialis tendinitis, that is usually an indication of this muscle is working too hard, too often, too fast to control motion. So when someone has a really high heel or an arch and they have to drop, a flat foot has to drop, all of that you can see is this muscle is being lengthened and therefore turned on. Keep in mind, as the foot goes forward, or as the shin goes forward over the heel, keep the heel down, we also get interrotation of the tibia. That is also lengthening that tissue. So we get dorsiflexion, that lengthens the posterior tib. We get a relative position of front of the foot, which we call forefoot, is coming up as the heel is everted. So that relative position is lengthening that, as well as the rotation happening at the shin, which is called tibia. That rotation is all lengthening that tissue. Once she gets to mid-stance, which is going to be somewhere around here, this muscle is no longer doing work. It's off. It's turned on. It should be happening. So if we have a foot that stays flat through mid-stance, now we might have a problem, because if she's staying collapsed through stance, that flat foot, loosey-goosey, pronated position, now we might get tendinitis, because that should start to be coming up and resting. As we get through here, foot hits the ground, now we're going to start to see it turn on again, because we're going to start seeing this heel re-invert. We're going to see the front of the foot keeping the toe on the ground. And now as you come up to the gait cycle, mid-stance on, terminal stance to pre-swing, there's a lot of activity going on with this muscle. So how do we translate this concept, gait, function, sprinting, running, cutting, change of direction? How do we create exercises that work this tissue in the right way?